Okay, fifth graders. In this investigation, we're going to be looking for reactions. Specifically, what happens when you mix two different chemicals? And remember, the reaction that we're actually looking for is a reaction that we think will work to make goo. So let's go ahead and get started. Our first chemical that we're going to work with is milk. You might not have thought of this as a chemical before, but remember, all these substances in the world around us are really chemicals. So here is milk, and you can kind of observe what its properties are. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put some milk right here. And then I'm going to mix baking soda with that milk. Now, the baking soda I have is in solution, meaning I've mixed the baking soda with water. So let's see what happens when we mix milk and baking soda. And I'll stir them together. And so there is our first combination of two chemicals, milk and baking soda. Now, let's try milk and borax. And here's what borax looks like. So borax is actually a powder, and it's a soap that people use in their laundry. You might be able to see a little on the bottom. But I've made a borax solution by mixing and dissolving the borax in water. So here's milk and borax. And we'll mix those together a little bit. Remember, you're looking for evidence of has a reaction occurred. Now let's go ahead and do milk with glue. And we'll stir that. And finally, milk and vinegar. And here's what vinegar looks like. It's a clear liquid. You might see we kind of made some chunky things mixed in here. Okay, go ahead and pause the video right now. Go back a slide so you can record what happened when we mixed milk with each of these other chemicals. Now, keep in mind that not every time we mix two chemicals together, we get a reaction. So in some of these squares, we had no reaction, and that's okay. Just go ahead and write no reaction in your data table. Okay, I'll see you in a second, and we'll test baking soda. Okay, welcome back. So let's take a look at baking soda. So remember, my baking soda is in solution, and so I'm going to put some drops of baking soda here. And then we'll mix the baking soda solution with the borax solution. Remember, borax is soap people use in their laundry. And there's that first mixing of two chemicals. Then let's try baking soda and glue. And we'll mix that around. Okay. And then let's go ahead and try baking soda and vinegar. So baking soda solution and my vinegar. And we'll mix that around a little bit. Okay, so go ahead and pause the video again, go back a slide and record your observations. What happened when the chemicals baking soda and borax mixed? baking soda and glue mixed, and then baking soda and vinegar. What happened when those mixed? Okay, see you in a second. Okay, now we're ready to look at borax, and we're gonna go ahead and grab our borax solution and put some here. So now I'm looking at what happens when I mix borax and the glue solution. And we'll mix those together. Having trouble getting my popsicle stick off. Okay, so there's borax and glue. Kind of sticky. Okay, now let's try borax and vinegar. And we'll mix those two together. And then finally, the last two that we need to mix together are glue and vinegar. So here's my glue. The glue always sort of has air bubbles in it when I try to get it out of here. I'm not sure why. Okay, so there's my glue. And then let's add a little vinegar. And mix those two together, glue and vinegar. Okay, so go ahead and take a look at our data table, or where we've been collecting our evidence. Remember, we're looking for chemicals that cause a reaction, create something new. And I need you to go back now and fill in your data table. Think about which of these chemicals, when mixed, had created a new substance. And also think about which of these chemicals, when mixed, created a new substance that was sort of like goo, and would be good chemicals to mix if you wanted to make your own batch of goo to play with. Okay, good luck.